All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Hopefully, you all are doing well today. So, we do have a full moon coming up, and it's actually at the end of this week. It's either Friday or Saturday. I don't quite remember which. I want to say it's Friday. But this is the full moon in Capricorn. Now, there's a spectrum of energy that falls into place with this full moon energy on a higher vibration. Well, we'll start with the higher vibration. On the higher vibrational side of things, it is about releasing the things that confine you, releasing yourself from the things that confine you. It kind of goes hand in hand with the Cancer energy because they fall on opposite sides of the spectrum here. So the opposite sign of Capricorn is Cancer, and with Cancers, it's about that emotion, touchy feely is the phrase that came through, but it's not really a touchy feely, but it's definitely due with your emotions. So on a spectrum side of things, you may be releasing the things that confine you or breaking free of the things that confine you. But as we move further down the spectrum here, we end up in an emotional energy. And those emotional energies can kind of cause complications. It can definitely cause complications. We may be delving into part of that energy as we move through this Capricorn full moon. You may have some emotions that don't feel so good or make you feel like you're confined. I don't know why I just heard that. But it's almost like the emotions were the trigger to the confinement. If that makes any sort of sense to you, hopefully it does. But there's a wide range of things that fall into this lovely little full moon. And I'm seeing the Devil card from the Souls on Fire Tarot. In fact, we'll probably use those today. Who knows? But it's about those fears, those fears and confinements, the things that prevent us from essentially living our best lives. However, there's always a catch-22 with that. I view it as a spectrum. That's why we're here on this channel. I view energy on a spectrum. And without that fear and confinement, we don't get the understanding that we are trapped. And so without that feeling of being trapped, we don't know that we need to break out of that energy. So we do need one with the other. So my intention for today is to look at what is happening with this full moon energy and see, what wants to come through, of course. This may resonate for some of you, this may not. I do plan on doing a relationship reading that may also be up today or that'll be up tomorrow. Haven't quite decided as to where I want that to fall. But it definitely does impact relationships. Doesn't have to be just romantic relationships. It can impact personal relationships. It can impact the relationship with yourself. So we'll see what wants to come through, and I'm not surprised that that is underneath. I pulled that for my own reading today. We are going to be using the Threads of Fate Shadow Editions today. The Wisdom of the Oracle. I tried, and for some reason, these lovely cards are asleep. When I say that things are asleep, it means that they're resting or that they don't want to be used as of this moment for this particular reading. So hopefully they wake back up. If not, we've got plenty of other oracle cards to use. So please take what resonates, leave what does not with this energy. I will call out zodiac signs as they come through and at the very end. But we're going to take a look. Should be an interesting time. Alright guys, let's see where we're going. Let's see what wants to come through. Underneath, we've got sacred sexuality. That's where I feel like that Cancerian energy comes in. Like I said, I feel as though that with this energy, that our emotions were kind of the trigger to the fear and confinement. The best example that I have, and it's a relationship example, and I'll try to find another one if this is not the example that I really need to be using. But people who get into relationships, they end up having these moments where, am I good enough? Am I doing things right? And that alone sets off a series of emotions that, like, well, there's fear, there's the, oh my gosh, like, what if they leave me, this, that, and the other. Like, you see how the emotions trigger other fears and other anxieties that come through. So I definitely feel like this Cancerian energy, your emotional side of things, is kind of causing these purges to come about. We have the Void here. I also pulled Surrender. And then the last one here, the Magi. Okay. So I do feel as though this is impacting people. I mean, obviously it's impacting people on a personal level. But I feel as though the point of this is, it starts with the shadow work. And for those of you who don't know what shadow work is, it's really walking into that emotional side of things. And sitting there for a minute. The Magi makes me think of the Magician, makes me think of Virgo energy. Well, Virgo energy, on the other side of things, is the Hermit. And the Hermit is about shining that light within that darkness. So I do feel as though that these emotions are causing us to kind of sit in a void, not really knowing which way to go. And I feel as though that's kind of the point in this moment, is you just sit there and surrender. Surrender to this energy, surrender to your truth of these emotions, because I feel as though in that energy there is something to learn. There's usually something to learn with the shadow work. There is usually something to learn here with this Void energy. I know, it's not the funnest place to sit. Makes me think of a set over here that I have. Don't quite remember the name of it off the top of my head. Should probably look into that. But in the cover, and I say this a lot, it's only in darkness that we can see the stars. And I feel as though that's what's kind of happening here. You are going to be sitting in this darkness energy, this energy that may not feel so good. But I feel as though that the more that your eyes adjust to this energy, the more that you shine that light, I feel like the more that these small little lights start to come through. Well, as these small little lights start to come through, you're no longer sitting in complete darkness. So this is going to be some interesting energy here. I am going to use the ASL tarot here with this. I do feel as though that we do need to we need to use this one today. Descriptions of my tarot cards are always in the description box below. So we're going to take a look and see what wants to come through. I can't believe that's the Ace of Wands. So the one that popped out was the Ace of Wands, or the Ace of Pentacles. Now we have the Ace of Wands and the Fool. So I feel as though that this energy is going to be bringing us to new beginnings. But these new beginnings, of course, I say this a lot, and it's probably just because it's me, but everything starts and stops with you. Ten of Wands. It starts and stops with you. Notice how nobody's helping him with this Ten of Wands. He's picking all of that up. He's picking all of that up by himself, and he's moving forward. And here we are, same thing again. He's got the swords in his hand, and he's like, I'm out. Bye. Well, the Seven of Swords is also about a lie, so we'll see. We'll see if these want to come back. You could be lying to yourself. That could also be a possibility. Everything's fine, everything's okay, or I don't want to feel this because it puts me in a spot where I lie to myself or lie to others about how I genuinely feel. Well, that is also confinement. That is also a form of confinement that you put on yourself. There's that Ace of Pentacles again. Three more. All right, 3 more. That's what the spirit guides are telling me. Once, usually it's 3 or 4. Twice. And 3 times. 3 times. All right, guys. Let's see where we're going with this energy. We're going to make this as smooth sailing as I possibly can, but of course, you know, I always call it as I see it. So let's see where we're going with this energy. Let's see what wants to come through for the collective, for this Capricorn energy. So underneath, we have got the King of Swords. There's that clarity. And it may not be complete clarity. On the on a spectrum of things, it is truth, it is clarity, but it's also, he can be kind of an ass. He can be really cold and clipped. Frustrated, irritated. No, those are not the words I want to use. You know when you hear something, unyielding. That's the word I want to use. When you hear something and you're like, no, that's not what that is. You are unyielding to the energy. So I could be talking to an Aquarius who is unyielding to this energy, or I could be somebody who sees the truth but still doesn't want to move forward. We'll see how the rest of this reading wants to show up. Four of Cups. Absolutely. Four of Cups with the Five of Cups. Grounding this energy is the Hanged Man. Guiding this energy is the Knight of Swords. Past energy is the Ace of Wands. Future energy is the Six of Wands. Okay, I kind of like this. I kind of like this. We'll see. Ten of Pentacles, Judgment, the Eight of Wands, and the outcome currently is the Six of Swords. So the things that pop out to me right off the jump is this Judgment energy and this Five of Cups. There's something here about making a new choice, making different choices, I guess I should put it that way, because we've made all of these choices up until this point. But I go back to that King of Swords. It feels like, well, I understand that my choices have brought me to this point, but I don't want to make different choices. I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to have to make the difficult decisions, even though I feel as though you've got messages coming in that are trying to get your attention, but I don't think you hear them because you're unyielding. Zodiac signs that I see currently, we've got Scorpio, Gemini, and Aquarius. But you do have messages coming in here. You do have messages coming in here. And again, it falls along that truth energy. You do have messages of truth coming in, but, you know, sometimes the truth is really hard to hear. The truth is really hard to hear, especially when it's coming from your own spirit guides or coming from everyone else around you. That truth that's coming in, another example that I have is, let's say you're dating somebody, okay? And you do like this person. Let's put this way. You do like this person, but everyone else around you is like, you know, they're this sort of way, or they're not really, they see an outsider's perspective of that relationship. Because sometimes when we get into relationships, we've got rose-colored lenses on, which is fine. You know, that's part of every relationship here, mostly. But then they come in and they're like, hey, like, you've kind of gone downhill with this relationship, and it's something that you don't want to hear. Nobody wants to hear that their relationship is dragging them down. And so it's just, it's got that type of truth to it where, yes, it's the truth, but it's like, I don't want to hear that right now. I don't want to look at that. So I do want to look at this Knight of Swords here. What is this message coming in? Message coming in, Page of Swords, yeah. Page of Swords, Sun, Eight of Swords, Lovers. I wasn't going to talk about the relationships, but you know what, if that seems to work. So here we are. You may be dealing with relationships, maybe dealing with another connection, not even a relationship. But I do feel as though some sort of truth has come in, has definitely shined that light there with that Sun energy. Notice how that Page of Swords is looking right at that Sun. But notice how the Eight of Swords is like, nope, don't want to see it, don't want to hear it, don't want to deal with it. It's all fine and dandy. But what you're going to do is you're going to put yourself in these types of situations. You're going to put yourself in that situation where you're going to tie yourself up. You're going to be, see, notice how they're surrounded by all of that truth. All of that truth energy, all of that swords energy. Don't want to see it, don't want to hear it, don't want to do anything about it. It's okay to feel this way. I want you to know it's okay to feel this way. It is. Because I know that sometimes what we think is best isn't always the best thing for us until we get into the middle of it. And it may take some time. It may take some time for you to see this truth yourself, because when we choose to ignore the truth, we blind ourselves to it. So with this Capricorn energy, I do feel as though that you are, again, it goes back to that Cancer energy, the opposite side of things, where I feel as though that emotionally, I do feel as though that you know, but you're blatantly choosing to ignore it. Blatantly choosing to ignore that. Clarify this 5 of Cups for me, please. Chariot, 7 of Pentacles, Temperance, the Ace of Swords. The situation that you are dealing with has run its course. And I feel like the more that you try to resist that energy, the more that it's just going to continue to come at you. I don't feel as though that this is a past energy here, because I don't see that type of energy here. I don't see the 6 of Cups. I don't see the 6 of Cups here in this energy. It does not feel like a past relationship. It feels like the emotional balance that you are currently in. So it's got nothing to do with past people. I feel as though that you are dealing with connections, again, with yourself or with others, whether it's platonic and friends and family, or whether it's romantic. But I do feel as though that this energy has run its course. It's kind of like beating a dead horse. That was not supposed to rhyme, just so you know. And there needs to be a balancing of this energy, but I only feel as though that the balance is going to come in after the truth does, or after you accept that truth. And we've got the Hanged Man down here, what's grounding you. Again, I don't feel as though it's a time for motion. I feel like it's a time for surrender, for a surrendering to what is happening in front of you and embracing that energy. Surrendering is also about embracing what is currently happening in front of you. Then we have the 6 of Wands, where you're going. That's victory. This is going through the war, going through the battle, and coming out on the other side. Your motion cards here, we've got the 10 of Pentacles, the Judgment, and the 8 of Wands. So the 10 of Pentacles, it's an ending, but also a new beginning. It's like a delayed ending in this instance. And I know I don't usually call it a delayed ending, but a delayed ending is it's run its course, and 1 plus 0 has to revert back to 1, but it hasn't done that yet. It hasn't started over. I'm actually surprised that the Ace of Pentacles, we got the King of Pentacles underneath, but I'm actually surprised that the Ace of Pentacles didn't come back, because it popped out 2 times while I was shuffling. You saw that. But it's almost as though you've waited too long or delayed too long. Too much of a good thing can always be a bad thing. And that's what this energy feels like down here. It's like you tried to wait it out. You tried to wait it out. Which is okay. It really is. It's okay to want to wait to see if things are going to change. But if you wait too long, it turns into stagnation, which is kind of what we're dealing with here. So now it's time to make a new choice. Now it's time to make a new choice. And I will look at this Judgment energy, because I feel like once you make a new choice, these messages start to come in. 8 of Wands, and the outcome is the 6 of Swords. So you do start to move away from this energy. So what is this Judgment energy? What is this new choice? Love. Love for oneself. Embracing love for another. Love for oneself, absolutely. There's that 6 of Pentacles. And then we have the Hierophant. It is okay to send, and we also have the Aquarian card underneath. I will walk away with that. It's okay to send love to these types of things without having to embrace the, not the baggage of, I mean, yes, but it goes beyond that. I feel as though that you are dealing now with situations that you are dealing with. These are not traditions per se, but the baggage. Like I said, the baggage that we are holding on to, it's time to release that. I feel like you've been carrying this around for far too long. You've been carrying this around for far too long, and it's time for you to embrace stepping forward into this new chapter. Because on the other side of this, you may be being released from the traditional way of doing things, or being released from the way of doing things in an orderly way, because the orderly way doesn't always have to be the right way. I mean, there are things that I do completely out of order, and it works. How it works, I still have yet to figure that out. But it's okay if things don't go according to plan, or the way that you think that they're going to be. And that's why, again, it goes back to the surrender. I feel like you have to surrender to this journey, surrender to this energy, and really step into that transformative energy of what this is trying to bring in for you. Because once you do that, again, these messages start to come through, that communication, that free-flowing communication starts to come in, and then you move forward. So where are we going? Where are we going after this energy starts to free flow? That was creepy that the sun just came out during that. We got the King of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands. I love this. Because now you're no longer in this energy, Eight of Swords. You're in the Nine of Wands. You're healing that energy. What we got, the Leo card, and then underneath, we've got the Ten of Cups. So I do feel as though that this Capricorn energy, this Capricorn full moon energy is going to bring about not a fixed ending, but it is going to kind of knock on your door and say, hey, you've waited too long. Or, hey, it's time to pack things up. We need to move forward. And I know that's interesting because I'm telling you to surrender, but surrender in an emotional level so you can physically move forward, and then you will emotionally move forward as well. Zodiac signs that I see with this Capricorn full moon. We do have Aquarius. Aquarius, you are allowed. Both of your cards have shown up. Leo, 2 of your cards have shown up as well. So Aquarius, Leo, Gemini, Sag, Cancer. Gemini, you've got 2 cards dancing here. Scorpio, Sag, Libra, Taurus. And I believe that's everyone that I currently see. So one more time, just to make sure, starting from the top and working my way over. Leo, Gemini, Cancer, Sag, Aquarius, Gemini. I'll take Pisces with the King of Cups. And that's interesting because I knew the King of Cups was here. So now we've got the Queen of Cups underneath. So I'll walk away with water signs. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Leo, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Sag, Scorpio, Leo, Gemini, Libra, Taurus, and Aquarius. And I'll also walk away with Virgo as well because we've got the Magi up there as well. So this is what I have for you guys. I really hope this helped. And just breathe. It's going to be okay. But unfortunately, we can no longer control what the universe is trying to bring in. The only thing we can do is control how we respond to this. And what I'm getting from my spirit guides is I feel like it goes a step further other than controlling oneself. I feel like it goes just a little bit further, trying to control the outcome, trying to control how things are going to fall into place. And you can't do that. Because the universe has its own way. We can only control ourselves. And the more that we try to control the outcome, the more frustrating it's going to be for us because the universe is just going to do what it does. So it's easier to go with the flow of things than it is to fight this energy. And that's where I feel like, again, it goes back to that Cancerian energy of sitting with oneself. So thank you guys very much for joining me today. As always, this was wonderful. I enjoy the company that you all bring. And if this resonated for you, please leave a like, leave a comment. I want to hear back from you guys. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, please do. Because I know I post Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. There are times where I also post different things on the odd days. So just to make sure you guys don't miss any videos that come through, please feel free to subscribe. It does help me. It does help support the channel. If you're looking for morning messages, I do pull daily runes over on Facebook. There's a link in the description box below if you want to hop over there and see what that's about. And last but not least, if you're having a bad day, and just need more of this happy-go-lucky, bright and bubbly energy that I bring to you, there is a link for my TikTok down below. It is not tarot related at all. I tried that, didn't fly very far. But when it comes to being me and spreading that positivity and that joy and that light, TikTok is where I go. So if you need just a little bit more of me throughout your day today, there are, God, I don't know how many videos over on TikTok of me and my nonsense, spreading that positivity and joy. Please feel free to sneak over there. Please feel free to sneak over there. So thank you guys very much for joining me. This was wonderful, and I will see you all again later. Bye, guys.